said, because I was growing up in a single parent household, no father figure.
Right.
This is for every man, right? You start looking for
role
learning how to be a father in whatever avenue is familiar to you. For me, it was hip hop. So I would turn on the music videos and I would try to learn. Oh, you know what? To be a man is actually to have multiple women. And multiple cars and jewelry. That's what being a man was. That's what I was watching the music videos and that's what I was learning from Jay-Z and all these other rappers and stuff.
I was just gonna ask you who you was watching.
Yeah, and so but for me, I came to a place where I was like, oh wait, nah, being a man is actually taking care of his responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? Being accountable and stuff like that. And so that transition for me was kind of the starting point in the journey, which I'm still on, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I owe it all to my mom, you know what I'm saying? The change that happened to her, and then from there kind of, segued with me. So.
He got a bar. Responsibility. These little boys are run from it, but I'm done fronting. Stop running, keep it 100. Woo! It's in your bars.
I know.
The way you rap, it's all about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You watched the battle on repeat before you came.
No, that was one.
No, that was a song. That was
a song.
Yeah.
He gonna try to switch it. You caught me. Gonna switch it up.
I like that though.
That's our song.
That was
you with us, man. It's available on our platform. So your father passed. How old were you when that happened?
12 years old.
You're 12.
12, yeah.
Can you talk about that at all?
Yeah. So, and I always try to I try to explain my best whenever I'm communicating this. Like, your father is your father, you know what I'm saying? Regardless, how many years you don't see him or whatnot. And for me, at 5 years old, he was already taken away from me. But I will say though, he wasn't a great father though. Like it wasn't.
He was taken away at five.
Yeah, when I was 5, like he got deported back to Colombia. You know what I'm saying? He was in prison. Obviously because he was wilding out. Like he was really in those cartel stuff that you were seeing in Colombia and stuff. And so for me though, I remember thinking to myself like, yo, can I really remember times where like we played catch or like, we spoke on the phone, nothing like that. It wasn't no relationship like that. But at the end of the day, it's still your father, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was always hoping that once I got older, I built a relationship with him. I was able to visit him, all these other things. And so at 12 years old, when I ended up getting the news that he ended up passing away in prison, I remember breaking down, and it wasn't necessarily breaking down to the point where I said to myself, damn, Dad's not here no more. It was more like I got robbed of the opportunity to show him like, yo, I became a man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and not on some like, oh, told you so, but in a weird way. And I maybe this is, other people could talk about their experience with their father, but in a weird way, like it's still the man that, that you're supposed to have this connection with. You know what I'm saying? That you long for this connection. Even though I wasn't speaking to him, I wanted to make sure that one day when I got older, I was gonna do everything I can to go ahead and build that bridge between us. And so, but because that was taken away from me at 12,
right.
It kind of left this hole. And that's why I said, for me, I was trying to fill it up with stupid things, you know what I'm saying? Until I, obviously as I got older, but yeah, at that point, 12 years old, I remember my mom walking in, letting us know she was already crying like a couple days prior, and I didn't know why. I thought she like legit. I thought something else had happened. You know what I'm saying? She was giving us every other excuse, and then one day she just pulled us aside and she told me and my brothers and sisters, and from there it was kind of just some like. For me, kind of just trying to figure out how to kind of move on, you know what I'm saying? Because even though he wasn't around, like I said, there was always still this hope that we was gonna link back up, he was gonna come back, all this other stuff. But
did you like a life flash before your eyes? Like, whoa, reality hit you?
Yeah, bro. I remember being on the patio just like in shock, bro. I was just weeping, and you got to think about it. I'm weeping not because I'm seeing him every day or because I'm hearing his voice every day. That's a different type. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was my mother, it'd be this like different type of weep. But for me, it was just like I knew that. Like I said, he wasn't the best man. I can't even say he treated my mom right. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even that. It was literally like you just have this connection with this man who is a part, he birthed you, and you do want to at least have a conversation with him and kind of
some type of relationship.
mold a relationship as you guys get older. And I didn't get that. And so that's why, like I said, I was looking for
that void in your life growing up as an adult man.
Yeah.
Did that birth any because a lot of boys who grow up without their father in their life, they have this identify anger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Did you have that like coming up, even as an adult? Like, do you ever have that?
To this day, I still struggle with it. To this day, there's certain accomplishments that I'll get. So, for instance, 3 years ago, Mike Evans awarded me one of the pillars in the Tampa Bay community. So he chooses one every year. He chooses 6 every year. 6, and you could be. I mean, I'm talking about you could be the top barber. You could be this. He had caught wind of what I was doing within the community, but also battle rap. And he found out, like, oh, and so he started watching my stuff, and then his team had reached out to me. And so this is like the first year Tom Brady's with them. So Tom Brady's at this big gala, Mike Evans throws this big gala. And I remember going up there and they did like this whole presentation for me, bro. They bring me out, I go on stage, I take a picture with them. I remember getting my award and I'm looking to the crowd, and right there, bro, it just randomly just hit me. I was like, damn. Like, I know Pops would be proud of this, you know what I'm saying? To this day, there's, like I said, whether it's like a big battle or whether it's, you know, a performance that I do or whatever aspect in life that I'm kind of like, you know, accomplishing or getting towards like a new goal, like he just pops up in my head to this day where I kind of find myself still looking for recognition from him, you know what I'm saying? But thank God though, like I said, as I transitioned into faith and, you know, and learn about who God is and how my identity is in him, I could look like I'm not fatherless, you know what I'm saying? Like I thought I was, although that there's still like a earthly father that I'm still missing and stuff. I don't have to run to drugs, you know what I'm saying? I'm not running into stupid stuff to kind of like fill that void. You know, I run a prayer and that kind of helps me out, you know, day by day, so.
Let me ask you this before we switch over. So for kids who are growing up without their father, whether they were murdered, whether they can't see him, whatever the situation is, especially young men, what advice could you give them to cope without seeing their father? For whatever reason, they can't see him. Yeah. What advice would you give to that young man to cope without their father? Because, just go.
So like I said, for me, like I said, the only answer, I don't know what I would have done. I don't know how I would have operated in life apart from, you know, knowing God. And so for them, I would definitely say, like, first of all, you can't know, like, who you're supposed to be. It's like, you don't know who you are until you know whose you are. And so, like, you gotta understand, like, for us, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not here by accident, you know what I'm saying? And nothing has happened just by chance. Like, understand that you were born with purpose, and there is a God who has orchestrated you to be in a specific plan, and there's certain things that are happening to mold you to become the man that you are. So where the easy route is, and this is what I'm saying, like to be a man, right? A boy, and it doesn't matter, you could be, like I said, bro, right? There's a difference between growing up and growing up. A boy who's like, you could be a boy and you could be 33 years old. You can easily go ahead and just want to clock out and just say, you know what, I'm done doing this, and I'm gonna just start wasting my money over here, and I'm gonna start, you know, not taking care of my responsibilities over here. Like, a man's gonna step up and say, look, the situation sucks, but there are still things that I need to accomplish here. And I think that that's, unfortunately, because of just like all the different, you know, vices and different trials that we go through on a daily basis, it's so easy, you know, it's easy to get distracted. I think that unless you are putting your head down in prayer every night, bro, and really asking God, like, yo, I can't do this. Like, until you come to the end of yourself, bro, I hate the saying, like, God only helps those who help themselves. I'm like, nah, God helps those who can't help themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, when you get to the point where you're like, yo, I can't do this, and for that boy or that girl, whoever's lost their parent, I will go ahead and encourage them and be like, look, acknowledge that you feel lost. Like, acknowledge that you don't know what to do. And I promise you, that's where you'll find, like, the strength to kind of move forward. You know what I'm saying? And even like the saying, like, right, God never gives us more than we can handle. Like, nah, he does. He just won't give you more than what he can handle, which is nothing. You know what I'm saying? And so understand that, like, he's gonna, he's exactly, he's gonna, bro, he's exactly, bro, he's gonna give you, bro, it's gonna feel like you can't handle it. But as soon as those points, he's gonna be able to give you that strength little by little. Hey, here you go, and then you look, you put one step in front of the other, right? And you wake up the next day, you're like, oh snap, I actually made it through yesterday, right? And now it's a week, and now it's a month, and so for that little boy, that little girl, man, trust me, embrace the brokenness, embrace that, like, the darkness that is in the valley. But I promise, like, even though it's dark, that's where you see best, bro. I'm trying to tell you, that's what me. So.
That was fire. That was fire. More claps. You ain't clapping.
In the darkness, that's where you see best.
That was fire.
I'm trying not to spill this oil.
Or more important.
But
than
that
what you
was,
just
I'm gonna steal that. When you see it on Facebook, don't say nothing.
Nah, go ahead.
Don't
bro.
say
Go
nothing.
ahead.
Your brothers.
Now let me. Okay, well, you had something you want to say? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
for what it's worth to you, I feel like since you say you still struggle with that, him not being present, I feel like in moments like the Mike Evans
Yeah.
award where he just randomly popped into your head at such a pivotal moment, I feel like that's his way of telling you, I see you.
Yeah.
I see you and I'm proud of you.
That's real. Yeah.
Anytime he pops in randomly,
yeah.
that's actually, at least that's what I feel.
Nah, I feel that. I feel
I
that.
like when Ash does that.
Like that.